have a Valentine's Day recipe for you guys just in time for this holiday of love. Today we're going to be making a chocolate keto cake with a white chocolate cream cheese frosting. This cake is delicious, plus it's super cute because it's decorated like a conversation heart. And since we're making a conversation heart cake, let me know what your guys' favorite conversation heart saying is. Is it text me or fax me? That one was always my favorite one just because I thought it was hilarious. I mean, who's gonna send like a little love letter by fax? I mean, maybe it did happen back in the 80s, but let me know what your favorite conversation heart saying is. First, we're gonna start by making our chocolate cake. So to make your keto chocolate cake, you wanna start by mixing your dry ingredients together. So in a large bowl, I'm gonna add 1 cup of almond flour, a 1/4 cup of coconut flour, a 1/4 cup of unsweetened 100% cocoa powder. Make sure you get this. If you get anything else, it might have added carbohydrates in it. 2 teaspoons of baking powder and a 1/4 teaspoon of salt. Whisk this together until it's combined, and then we're gonna set it aside and start with our wet ingredients. So in a large bowl, I'm gonna add 1/2 cup of butter, and this is softened butter, and a 1/4 cup of sweetener. The sweetener I'm gonna use is a monkfruit blend sweetener by Lakanto. You could use whatever kind of sweetener you want. Cream this together until it's nice and smooth, and then we're gonna add in 4 eggs, along with a 1/2 cup of heavy cream. Once that's combined, we're gonna slowly mix in our dry ingredients into the wet ingredients. Now it's time to pour our batter into our cake molds. Now you could go with a heart-shaped cake mold, but I didn't have that. I just had these are 6-inch cake pans, and I had 2 of them. So I'm just gonna be using these and pour the batter in equally. And then I also put in a sheet of parchment paper that I cut out and just placed it down in there. This just allows for the cake to slide out easily, and then you'll just spray the edges with some cooking spray. So pour your batter into here, and then we're gonna bake this. You wanna bake it at 350 degrees for around 20 minutes. You just wanna cook it until the center is set. And then you'll take it out, remove it, let it cool for several minutes before flopping it upside down onto a wire rack. Now, before we move on to frosting our cake, I just wanted to take time to thank our sponsor, which is Buildbar. Built Bars are keto-friendly protein bars that are delicious. They're made with 100% real chocolate. They have a huge variety of flavors that you can choose from to meet whatever flavor taste that you want, from like coconut to this is salted caramel. We have raspberry, there's fruity ones, there's ones with nuts, there's ones without nuts. Check out their website if you guys want to learn more about them. You can save 20% off your order when you click on that link down below in the description box. Now comes our frosting. So this frosting I chose is a white chocolate. It's also a buttercream frosting too, but it also has cream cheese in it. So it's a white chocolate cream cheese frosting, and it's delicious. It is so good. It's one recipe that I made for Chalk Zero a while ago, but I also have it on my website. I'll have it linked down below for you guys. To make this frosting, I'm gonna double my recipe that's on my website. So I'm gonna use 8 ounces of softened cream cheese, along with 1.5 sticks of butter, that should be 3/4 cup of softened butter. And then add about 1 tablespoon of vanilla extract. We're gonna cream this together until it's nice and smooth, and then we're gonna add in our white chocolate. Now the white chocolate I'm using is by Chalk Zero. I've melted it down in the microwave at 30-second intervals until it's melted. The cool thing about their chocolate, I don't know if you guys have noticed this, but they actually have recipes on the back. And if you've ever picked up the milk chocolate kind, it has my recipe on the back for my chocolate chip mug cake, which is delicious. So make sure you pick up a bag of those. So I have 1 cup of melted chocolate going in here. We're gonna mix that together and then slowly pour in 1 cup of powdered erythritol, or you could use monkfruit if you want to. Once that's creamy and combined, now you have an option. You can either color it or just leave it white, whichever you want to do. I'm going to save a little bit of the white just for some decorative toppings and edging, but I'm going to color the rest of this pink. Now that our frosting is done, it's time to assemble our heart-shaped cake. So you're probably wondering how you're gonna make a heart shape out of these two circles. Well, I'm gonna stack it so it's gonna be a double-tiered cake. And the first round, I'm gonna cut off the edges so that it forms the bottom point of a heart, so it has a V. And I'm gonna take those parts that I cut up and move them up to the top just to make little ears. So this is gonna form a heart. We're gonna spread some frosting in between the edges so that it sticks. And I'm gonna repeat this with my second round. Next, we're gonna apply a thin layer of frosting throughout the whole thing. This is called a crumb coat. It's just so that those little crumbs of chocolate don't start to mix in with your frosting, and then you have like this ugly frosting cake that has crumbs and frosting mixed all over. So just a thin coat, and I'm gonna pop it in the freezer for around 10 or 15 minutes, and then we'll come back and frost the rest of the cake. While we're frosting this cake, don't forget to subscribe to my channel and make sure you guys hit the notification bell so you get notified every time I post a new recipe. Once your keto chocolate cake is decorated with your white chocolate cream cheese frosting, you are ready to send this off to your sweetheart or your family or your kids, whoever you want to make feel special this Valentine's Day. You're all set. I put XOXO on top of my cake, but let me know what you guys would put if you were making a keto conversation heart cake.